Okay, aloha everyone, and welcome to our first talk story session for ʻOhana. This presentation is about talking to your keiki about what's going on. I'm going to start the slideshow for us, and we will move forward with things. Let me share my screen. Let me also preference things with, we're all kind of getting used to using more technology. Same with myself. And so please bear with me any minor distractions or bumps in the road as we go forward with this presentation. I also will apologize that right now I'm not using a headset. I'm still trying to figure out some specifics with that. So you may hear my dog run around in the background or other background noises, and I just apologize ahead of time for that. So my name is Shannon. I am really happy to be presenting with you guys today. This series is ʻOhana Talk Story sessions, and we are presenting twice a week live sessions and one session that will be recorded and a link to our KS Preschool's website. So I'm not really presenting to anyone right now other than this recording for confidentiality purposes. So it's just me and you and this recording occurring right now. So mahalo to you for being here and for your time. We really want these sessions to be supportive for you, for your ʻOhana, in light of all that's going on in the world right now. We are having live sessions on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 a.m. and Thursday evenings at 5:30 p.m. right now. Like I said, these are also recorded and on our website. This session will be, the first part is the recording, and then the second part, we're taking questions, and we really want it to be an open talk story format. Because this is just a recording, it doesn't involve the questions and the talk story part. I really would encourage all of you to try to join those live sessions so that you get that piece of participation and the other factors involved in that. That's just great with connecting with others and being part of that. We don't have to worry about the online etiquette. That's basically for our live sessions to just remind folks to be muted when we're presenting. And I just want to preference things with, if you have other questions and concerns, or if you're watching this and have questions and concerns, please reach out to your Keiki's Kumu and school counselor, and we'll be happy to support you in whatever questions or discussions you'd like to have following this. So a little bit about me. My name is Shannon Flynn. I'm a clinical social worker and a registered play therapist supervisor. I am the behavioral health supervisor for NKK. So for all of our KS preschools, I cover the entire state. That picture that looks kind of funny in the midst of the leaves around it is actually what my office looks like when we are in school. I have a traveling suitcase with lots of toys in it to be able to work with Keiki in various locations and various sites. So I'm commonly at multiple locations in one day, and that's how I travel around. So goals for the session. So again, today's session is talking to your Keiki about what's going on. We're going to talk about and learn the importance of talking to Keiki and really explaining to them what's occurring. We're going to start with talking in general about what's going on and talking in general about how to talk to your Keiki and just some good tips when you're talking to them about anything. Then we're going to talk about the variety of tough topics going on right now. So we're going to talk about coronavirus and how you explain that to your Keiki. We're going to talk about social distancing and staying home. We're going to talk about no school and school being out till next school year. We're going to talk about not seeing friends and family right now, and also about wearing masks. As I said, with the live sessions, you have time to ask questions and talk story about these things, but we'd be happy to talk story with you and answer any questions you have following this. So please reach out to your Kumu or your school counselor on that, or even myself. So why is it important to tell Keiki? Well, our Keiki have a right to know too. Even though they're little, they still need to know and understand what's going on, and they still have a right to learn about these things and understand. Also, kids pick up on everything that's going on, especially the things that you're doing as their parents. They pick up on your feelings, on your thoughts, on comments and concerns, on everything that's going around with them. And they really are like sponges. So this first video clip I'm going to show you is called Children Are Like Sponges. And I think it's a great depiction of really how much children soak things in and soak things up.
Children are like sponges. Absorbing everything around them. Especially from you. Model good and healthy behavior. Give your child the best start in life. Call 1-888-FIRST-5LA or visit ReadySetGrowLA.com.
So I just think that's a great depiction and visual just about how much, Keiki really do pick up on everything that you're doing. And they really are like sponges. So then, it really relieves anxiety. It relieves anxiety for anybody to understand things and to learn about things. That just as humans, that helps to take away that anxiety and relieve stress when we understand things. And so that's the same for our Keiki. We also then can help clarify facts versus fiction. Because children are like sponges and pick up on everything, they often develop these own thoughts and ideas in their head about how things are. And so if we're not being clear and explaining it to them, then they're not going to understand. And they also pick up on things that other kids say. And so if other kids are sharing things with them, then that factors in too. I had a Keiki the other day who told me that coronavirus was because their brother bumped his knee on the door and that's why they can't go to school, and that's what coronavirus is. And so just small things like that, it can really help Keiki to clarify, what coronavirus really is, that you don't get it by bumping your knee, of course, and can really, make things clearer for them and help increase their understanding so that then they're not confused. So when we talk to Keiki in general about things, no matter what the topic is, it's always good and important to get at their level. So whether you sit on the ground with them, whether you kind of squat down at their level, but trying to be kind of at eye level with them, that helps our presence and effectiveness of what we're talking to them about. It's also always good and important to keep things at age appropriate and developmentally appropriate level for them to understand. So really we want things to be simple and basic so that they can grasp it. We always want to remind Keiki that they are safe and that you will do all you can to keep them safe. We can't prepare for or predict what's going to happen tomorrow. There's a lot of things that are outside of our control, but one thing we can do is to try to help our Keiki feel as safe as they possibly can. Then it's important when we're discussing things with them to talk about feelings and to ask how they're feeling. Feelings are really important, and at this age we're starting to develop an understanding of our own feelings, and so it's important when we're talking big topics with them to kind of go over what's going on and how they're feeling. We also want to allow them the time to ask questions so that, again, we can clarify what's going on and help them to understand. And remind them that they can always come back to you and ask questions, even if in the moment when you're talking to them about something, remind them that if in that moment they don't have questions, that they can always just come back to you and ask those questions. So some helpful strategies. Be mindful of what Keiki are seeing and hearing. There are so many things out there that are being said and things around them. And again, they're like sponges. So things that are on the TV or the news, adult discussions, everything that's going on around them, they're picking up on these things. And so we just want to be mindful and be careful of what we're saying around them and what they're seeing and hearing. Keeping a routine can be very helpful. Kids function best off a schedule, and they function best when they're happy. A busy child is a happy child. We want to keep them busy and active and occupied and try to fill that time. There's a lot of things that we can't control in life right now, but the things that we can help to control and predict for them and make that schedule and routine and things a pattern, those are really helpful. So do things together with your keiki and as an ʻOhana. Connection with others really helps for all of us. Engage them in classroom opportunities being offered. A lot of kumu are offering different virtual spaces right now where keiki can meet, kind of like being in the classroom, except we're all on the screen and can meet together. So try to engage in those and find out what things are being offered for your keiki's classroom. And help keiki in general to connect with others. Even though we can't be physically present with others, we can help them to connect in other ways. So talking to Keiki about coronavirus, we again want to keep things very simple and basic. Starting with the first piece of germs is really a good way to start with things. Kids at this age really have an understanding of what germs are. They hear us all the time say, "Oh, don't pick that up, it has germs on it," or "Go wash your hands so you can get all the germs off." So they've heard that term germs before. And it's great to explain to them that germs are, these little tiny things that are invisible that travel around and they cause us to get sick. And so coronavirus is started by germs passed from person to person. And it's a virus, kind of like a cold or a flu. It's important to let them know that most people who get coronavirus just need a lot of rest to get better. Just like when they get sick, they need rest to get better and they'll be okay. And that's usually what happens with most people with coronavirus. Using play to help them understand these concepts can be really helpful and beneficial. So anything from puppets to videos to stories, but anything with play helps to bring out understanding and education and is really age appropriate and developmentally appropriate to help our keiki. And I'm going to share with you guys today a bunch of different clips and different resources and supports. And some of these are really good that you can share with keiki. This next video is more one for parents. That's a cartoon clip, but it's called OMG, Help My Child Asked About Coronavirus. And I think it's a really good to kind of stress these important pieces of what's important to share with keiki. So that video is from Lingo Kids. All of these links will also be on our website that you can come back to them later. This slideshow will be also. So here are some other great videos and resources for you all as parents that you can check out that have more videos and resources to basically help explain to your child what's going on with coronavirus and all these different things with it. So Child Mind Institute is a great resource for a wide variety of things, but they have a special link and page all for coronavirus. American Academy of Pediatrics has a video and stuff on their website also. Also, there's, a lot of great podcasts out there too that are very supportive for parents. PBS Kids for Parents is another wonderful one, and that video link actually shares strategies and things to talk to your Keiki about coronavirus. So those are just some good suggestions on resources and supports. So talking to your Keiki more about coronavirus, it helps to talk to them about what we can do to help. As humans, it helps us to kind of think through things as how we can help others, especially when it comes to relieving our anxiety about things. So it's important to, share with Keiki that washing our hands is really important. Not touching our face, covering your mouth, and using a tissue or elbow when you need to. And then these next few things are things that are actually in the next few slides, suggestions to ways to talk to your Keiki about these things. But it's these main things going on right now, staying at home, practicing social distancing, wearing a mask when you're going to be out in public around others. I want to show you guys this video clip though, because it's about germs and a germs experiment for kids. And it's one of my recent favorite things because I just think it's such a simple and neat way to really explain germs to kids. It also is so great to then explain the importance of using soap and washing our hands. So it's called the germs experiment for kids. All you need to do it is pepper, water, and soap. So something so simple that you can do it at home with your Keiki, your own kind of science experiment about germs and washing hands. There's a bunch of other video clips on YouTube too. There's one preschooler who does this experiment that's fun. So this is not the only one out there. This is just one that I liked that was really brief and tells you how to do the experiment. Okay, so cool, right? I just think that is so neat, that something so simple can be such a great way to show kids, what germs are and then how important washing your hands are. So something so simple you can do at home. So talking to your Keiki about social distancing and staying home. Again, we want to take the conversation back to germs and these germs being all around us. And in order to prevent the germs and coronavirus from spreading, that we need to stay 6 feet away from people that we don't live with. And I like to stress that don't live with because it gets kind of confusing. Like, well, wait, do I have to stay 6 feet away from, my brother? No, it's more people we don't live with. And when we go out in public places. So it's important to talk to them about how far 6 feet is because, distance and length is kind of how time is for kids at this age. They don't really have a full, clear understanding of what that means. So it helps to give them kind of what that looks like and what that means. So 6 feet is actually the distance of an alligator. It's a little bit bigger than an adult sea turtle. And 6 feet is actually the distance of 2 large dogs standing tail to tail. So a dog, like golden retriever size or bigger, if 2 of them are standing tail to tail, that would be about 6 feet. So those are all great ways. And it doesn't have to be those ways, but just something to give them kind of that picture and idea of their head of how far 6 feet is helpful. So we want to remind them no hugging, no handshaking, no high fives, because that's how the germs can spread. But that it's okay to wave to others. We can throw a shaka, we can do air high fives. All of those things are okay and things we can do instead. So talking to your Keiki about school and about no more school this school year and how right now we're not in school. So again, it's going back to germs and explaining that because of coronavirus and these germs that can travel from person to person, that school's closed for a while. And at school and other public places, we can't really practice that social distancing. We can't really stay, an alligator length apart from people when we're at school. So think with them about, when we're in school and we're at circle time, are you able to stay that far away from your friends? No, we're really sitting right next to our friends. And so the same with at center time, we're pretty much sitting right by our friends. And it's really hard at school to really keep that social distancing and to keep the germs away. And so that's why we don't have school anymore right now, that we need to help everyone to stay apart so we can make all those germs and coronavirus to go away. So the next clip I'm going to show you is called Time to Come In Bear. And it's a children's social story about social distancing. And it's just a really cute clip and story about this bear trying to understand everything that's going on right now.
Time to come in, bear. Time to come in, bear. The world caught a cold. You won't get its germs if you just stay at home. It isn't forever, bear, just for a time. They're still fun to have here with me while inside. We'll climb pillow mountains, build towers sky high. I'll show you a dance. You can teach me to fly. We'll paint with our paws, bear, tell stories, read books. We'll eat lots of pizza. Can you help me cook? Do you know a joke, bear? The world is still funny. Knock, knock. Who's there, bear? It's me and a bunny. No visits with Grandpop. Grand's dinner can wait. A phone call's a great call to keep them both safe. No play dates with friends, bear. You miss them, I know. The next time we see them, we'll make sure it shows. While we stay inside, bear, the heroes still fight to clean up the germs and make the world all right. So sleep tight tonight, bear. Tomorrow, we'll see. And no matter what happens, together we'll be.
Okay, so another just really cute, great way to share with kids about what's going on. So talking to Keiki about not seeing their friends, not seeing Kupuna, and all those others that we can't see right now. So remind them that because of social distancing, that we have to stay apart from others for a while to help coronavirus go away. So it's hard, we can't see our friends, but we want all those germs to go away. And so we can't see people as much as we were, and we can't be around as many people. It's good to explain to them that older people can get more sick from coronavirus. So because of that, we might not be able to see Tutu, or we might not be able to see Papa for a little while, because we want to be extra careful that they don't get sick and that they don't get coronavirus. But just because we can't see them in person doesn't mean that we can't stay connected. So I really don't like the term social distancing, because really it's physical distancing that we want right now. We still want the social connectedness. And so socially, we don't want to be apart from others. It's physically being apart from others. So we really want to talk to them about feelings. Feelings are always important, especially at this age when they're starting to really develop and understand their own feelings and what's going on with them. That we really want to discuss feelings with them and talk about their feelings and help them understand how they're feeling and to reflect and validate on those feelings. So really let them express how they're feeling, and let them know it's okay no matter how they're feeling. They might be happy that everybody's home, but they might feel sad that they miss their friends and they miss school. And so, letting them know that that's okay and that you feel kind of sad too because you don't get to see your friends at work or you don't get to see your friends as much. As adults, it's good for us to let children see how we're feeling, and because we're all human. I think as parents, sometimes we don't want to allow our children to really see how we're feeling, but actually it's a good thing, to let them know that you're human too and that all feelings are okay. It's good to let them know that things are hard right now and that it's confusing and that it's going to be different for a while and that we don't really know when it's going to get back to the way it was. We want to help them get those feelings out in a positive way. So the next clip I'm going to show you is actually a little girl who she's probably in elementary school, and she wrote a song about how she hates coronavirus. And I love this because I think it's just such a positive way of a child, getting their feelings out. And it's okay, that she's angry and upset at COVID-19. But, she's not doing anything wrong. She's just expressing her feelings. And so that's what we want to do with our Keiki. We want to let them express their feelings and get it out, but find positive ways and help them find positive ways to do so. Just a really great video and a great way for kids to really, get out their feelings. And it's okay that we, I think we all hate coronavirus and COVID-19 right now. And so that's, a positive way of a child expressing that and getting that out. So let me go back. I apologize for my neighbor's dog barking in the background and my dog kind of running around in here. So again, we want to help for Keiki to stay connected, and we want to brainstorm with them ways that they can stay connected. So sit down with your Keiki and say, like, what are ways, even though we can't see your friends in person, or what are ways that we can't see, our family in person? What are things that we can do? So, technology is so great. We are in the time frame of Zoom and FaceTime and all these things that we can do to stay connected with people that we didn't have years ago. Phone calls are always good and great. Have them make pictures or write letters. Even if they can't fully put together all the letters and words and make it make sense, you'd always have them write it, and then you can write the words that they're trying to say to help. You can walk by others' houses and wave. Write letters with chalk and pictures on friends' driveways or on your own positive messages. Drive-by parades to see friends or family is great too. But be creative and brainstorm with them. Help them figure out ways that you can stay connected and they can stay connected with others. So talking to Keiki about wearing masks. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the masks. I know and understand that they're to help us all to keep the germs from spreading, but I really don't like them because I think it's really intimidating, and I think it can be really scary for kids. I find it really kind of weird for me seeing people when half of your face is covered by this thing and you can't tell how somebody's feeling or their emotions and expressions. You just can't see any of that through these masks. And so that's why I don't like them, especially for kids. But I think they're going to be around for a while. So it's important to help our keiki really understand that and understand why people are wearing masks. So again, talk to them about germs and germs spreading to others. And because of these germs around, the masks help stop the germs from you to someone else, and they help the germs from someone else getting onto us. And masks also keep us from touching our face, which is one of the things that we don't want to do right now. So some special thoughts and considerations. Like I said, masks can be very scary and confusing for keiki. It can seem like it's Halloween. People have these masks on, they all look kind of different. They're wearing gloves, they're just covering everything up more. And so, they might think that it's Halloween, but it's important to explain that it's not Halloween, that the masks are to help people stay safe, and they're to help the germs from spreading. Ask them how they're feeling when they see others in masks and how they feel about wearing a mask. We really want to reflect on those feelings and validate them. So let them know that it's okay. It is scary and confusing, or it's kind of funny, and kind of weird that we're all wearing these masks. And that's okay, but it's good to talk to them about these things. And, if it is scary for them, try to help figure out things that are going to help them to feel safe then when you're out in the community and they see these. So maybe, holding their hand might help them feel safe. Or maybe if they have a special toy or a special stuffed animal or blanket or something that you can bring with you when you go places, but trying to help them figure out what's going to help them to feel safe. That's really important. So taking care of your child during coronavirus. This is just a great little thing that I had found. It's in the acronym of CARE. So the C stands for check in with your child. Invite them to share their feelings. Give them a chance to ask questions. A, acknowledge your child's feelings and normalize them. All feelings are okay, and help them to see that how they're feeling is normal and okay. Reassure your child that their body is strong, made to fight germs and heal, and that this is only temporary. Help them regulate their anxieties and do calming activities together. E, empower your child. Let them know that staying in is a choice to help keep them and others healthy. Help them become staying in superheroes. Encourage them to connect with friends, family, or anyone else that might be lonely. I think it's really important to help them to see too that we all can be heroes and superheroes in this fight against coronavirus. If we stay home and if we practice social distancing and wash our hands and do all these tips and things that are out there. So the next clip I'm going to show you guys is from the Honolulu Theater for Youth, and it's called Show Your Aloha. And this is a great video that you can share with your keiki that is very culturally just awesome in recognizing what's going on, and in keiki trying to understand and helping them that they can show their aloha in different ways these days. I apologize, my internet is being slow at the moment.
Honolulu Theater for Youth presents The Highway. Bringing theater to your home.
Important announcements. When we started the process for filming, we were in a very different state of affairs in Honolulu. We are now acting, filming, and editing The Highway from our homes. We continue to follow recommendations for health and safety to avoid ninjas.
Aloha kako. This one goes out to all the ʻOhana who love to give hornies. There once was a boy named Keiki. He showed his aloha by giving people hornies. Hornies to his mother, hornies to his father, hornies to his food, to ladies, cousins, sisters, brother. But one sunny day, he saw his cousin La'a. Funny thing was, had one mask around her waha. Keiki felt aloha and tried to give one horny, but La'a said,
Don't come so close, Keiki.
How come? I like show you my aloha.
but La'a said,
Show your aloha with 6 feet of space.
Lima ono.
Show the evil people get one mask on their face.
Show aloha by giving 6 feet of space? Got it!
Elewa e. Keiki said,
Shoot!
and headed down the street, looking for something or no for eat. There at the corner was Manapua man selling andagi and musubi with teriyaki spam. Keiki said,
How's it?
and headed to the kane with kala and some quarters in his pocket. Keiki felt aloha, bought cash for his tutu, but right before he bought the food, he
Hey, Keiki, try step back and cover your face.
How come? I like show you my aloha.
but Manapua man said,
Show your aloha with your elbow when you sneeze. That's how you akahele and don't spread a disease.
Elewa e. We all the onomeas in one pepper eke. Keiki started walking for see his tutu lady. He came up to the holly with a mango tree. He knocked on the door and called out,
Oi!
Tutu came out with her puppy named Tutua. She was so happy for see her mo'opuna. Keiki felt aloha and wanted one puiki, but Tutu backed away and said,
Arihiki! Keiki, mai no ho pa'alima yau nei, lepo no pakalima.
Pehea la Tutu, e ho'iki wau I ku'aloha ia oi. But Tutu said,
Show your aloha by washing your hands.
Better wash your hands, Ke.
That's how you malama your kupuna and your slants. You show aloha to everyone when you show aloha to yourself.
Show aloha to myself? You mean by giving 6 feet of space, washing my hands, and sneezing in my elbow?
That's right. That's how you show aloha to yourself and all Hawaiʻine. Hine kako.
That's how we show aloha in all Hawaiʻine. Show aloha to myself each and every day.
that's how we show aloha to all Hawaiʻine. Show aloha to myself each and every day.
So again, that's Honolulu Theater for youth. Show your aloha. And I just think that is just so great and such a fun way to show your aloha. So I just want to say mahalo to you for joining us today. Thank you for your time. I hope that you have found this informative and beneficial. We really want for these sessions to be supportive and helpful for you and for all that's going on in the world right now to help you and to help your keiki and your ʻOhana. So with that, mahalo for being here. If you do have questions, if you need further support or just want to talk story about these things, please reach out to your Keiki's Kumu or your school counselor. And if there's other things too, you can also reach me through one of them. So mahalo for your time. I hope you'll join us for future sessions. We hope to see you soon. Aloha.